Francisco, the 49ers at final outlast the Atlanta Falcons 37-30 despite 3D catches for Andre Bad Moon Rising. We'll have highlights of that a little bit later on. Where do we begin? Well, how about a pair of 0-2 teams? And a pair of 0-2 teams, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, knowing that since the merger, 86 teams, merger in 1970, 86 teams have begun the NFL season 0-3. Only 3 of them made the playoffs, once the Chargers last year. Pittsburgh wanted to say to Cincinnati that, you know what, it's way too early for them to close the book, at least on our season. Remember, the Steelers had won their division last year. Steelers shelling out some money for Rod Woodson and Barry Foster this week. Would it help? Well, early on, Foster stopped for a short game by Alfred Williams. O'Donnell gets some good bucks in the offseason, sacked by Williams and Eric Shaw. And O'Donnell, chased by John Copeland, fires a wounded duck to Leroy Thompson. David Klingler, does he remember the Steelers? Yeah, I think so. First time he played against them last year, 10 times he was sacked. And he picked up where he left off. He trips over Derek Fenner, although he's only sacked twice today, Tom.
Yeah, and this is the case of Derek Fenner just getting overpowered right there by Greg Lloyd and causing the sack on Klingler.
Now the Steelers of Bill Cowher get some power. After early stumbling, Barry Foster rumbles, bumbles, stumbles for 17 yards, knocking down Lance Gunn along the way. Then O'Donnell takes over, a pretty fade to Ernie Mills. Nice footwork in the corner of the end zone, beats Rod Jones, 7-0 Pittsburgh. They continue in the second quarter against David Chula's Bengals. More Foster here. He goes for 14 yards on the draw play. And the Steelers not really thinking about the Joe Walton offensive era. They're thinking about this new era. And they prove it. O'Donnell finds a wide-open Yancey Thigpen. And boom, get the picture, good shot. And the Steelers' offense is fine. But Pittsburgh hurting. Carlton Hasselrig out. Carnell Lake was hurt. DJ Johnson hurt. So that depleted their game. How would their backups do? Well, number 73, Strelzek, kind of falls over there. Richard Shelton playing for Carnell Lake breaks up a key 3rd and 5 pass to Query. And Deion Figures did have a tough day, though, because Carl Pickens beats him. But, you know, beaten by Pickens, not that bad.
You know, I played some basketball with him in Cincinnati, and the one thing that you've got to admire is his leaping ability. Here he does a great job at getting up and then concentrating and keeping the feet in bounds.
And at the half, the Steelers led 17-7. Second half, all Steelers. O'Donnell, Eric Green, 20 yards, although he's nailed by Darrell Williams. 20-7 in the third. And Rod Woodson, yeah, well, I'll tell you what, a lot of the way that he earns his bucks is more than just playing corner. It's the way he returns the punt. He fields the punt to his 45, cuts up the seam to the 40, and Lucky's thinking end zone before he's finally knocked out of bounds by the punter, tosses the ball in the stands, gives away $500, but he can afford it. O'Donnell likes the corner. He worked to Mills. Now Dwight and the family stoned. Nice footwork again in that corner. 27-7.
Yeah, you see him lose the coverage right here. It looked like man-to-man. The corner was going to drop off to help. He can't get deep enough to the back of the end zone. That's a great throw right there by O'Donnell.
Well, the big news today is the Steelers finally get on the W side of the standings as the Steelers beat the Cincinnati Bengals 34-7. Those 3 touchdown passes you see by O'Donnell, the first 3 he's thrown this year. Said his elbow, his arm feels a lot better, and obviously it looked a lot better. Barry Foster had 23 carries for 103 yards, and the Steelers held Cincinnati to just 170 yards. So the Steelers win, but frankly, this is a game that they should have won because, let's face it, Tom, for Cincinnati, for the Bengals, it was just another manic Sunday.
Well, you know, I think we all thought that the Steelers would come out and play better than they have in the past. They're too good a team, but you guys remember the Harlem Globetrotters,
yes,
the team that used to play them, the Washington Generals? The Bengals are reminiscent of the Washington Generals. They allow the dunks, allow the 2 points, allow the fast breaks, and if we don't get beat by 40 points, it's a bad night.
Well, I don't know that David Chula looks like Red Klotz, but or that the other team has the football on the rubber band and it comes back. But yeah, they did like the Washington Generals thus far, and they lost admirably, did they not? Let's take a look inside the numbers, and the numbers, well, if you're a Bengal fan, aren't pretty. I mean, after all, the Pittsburgh Steelers, their last 6 games, including the playoff loss of the Bills last year, had 48 points and only 3 touchdowns. Today, against the Bengals, the Steelers had 34 points and sang for 4 touchdowns. Between the Falcons and the 49ers. And also coming up, speaking of wild, Skins and Eagles fit the bill. We'll be back.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Like 7:35 now.
Open your coat, please.
Take that thing out slowly and open it.
You got some kind of device. We have a possible situation.
No,
We have a situation here.
Not a
today.
situation. Don't touch the button, sir. Quiet, please.
It's just a car stereo.
Pioneer car stereos offer you a detachable face for the ultimate in security.
You see, it's a detachable face for the car stereo. What's the matter with these people? Are so...
Hey, here's your din-din, big fella, huh? Yeah. Here's Daddy's din-din.
Once you get a look at those two all-beef patties,
No, this is Daddy's. Would you try
that
some?
special sauce, lettuce, cheese piled fresh and hot on that sesame seed bun, you've gotta have a Big Mac.
What you want is what you get. At McDonald's today.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural. Proud to be your bud.
Still to come at NFL Primetime, a pair of undefeated teams and a return home for Pat Swilling as a Lion. But Pat had a lot more than football on his mind. We'll explain and show you in a moment.
Looking for a great deal on a great car? Well, your nearest Nissan dealer's the right place, and now is the right time. It's Nissan's 93 model year-end clearance. Now's the time to make your best deal on Altima, the #1 selling new car nameplate introduced this year. Or save up to $2,000 with factory-to-dealer incentives on trucks, Maximas, and the rest of the award-winning Nissans. A clearance like this only happens once a year, and this one is happening right now at your nearest Nissan dealer.
Injuries can happen in many ways. Often hazards can be found in places we commonly use and expect to be safe. Sometimes manufacturers build products like cars, toys, ATVs, even medical equipment that are unsafe. The results can be devastating. I'm Bill Hurst. Although the law can't always protect your safety, we can protect your rights, and we're paid only when you collect. We'll make sure you're treated fairly.
Having a lawyer makes a difference. Bill Hurst and his partners on your side.
Now, for a free video and brochure, ask about our 60-day weight loss satisfaction guarantee.
My ultimate ESPN Sports Center highlight goes like this. Loose ball in the end zone. Fall on it, no chance. My feet are light, and I've got the moves. At the 50, I see Myers. Not now, Chris. I'm a busy man. And as I cross the goal line, I laugh, knowing my agent has just cut a deal for my very own fitness video. Yeah, that's my Sports Center highlight.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Maybe a new order this year in the NFC, Robin, and not that New Orleans making the playoffs is new, but Saints off to a good start, Lions off to a 2-0 start, and some familiar faces in this one at the Superdome.
Very much so, and it would prove to be the first loss either for the Lions or the Saints today, but you know, Pat Swilling suffered an even greater loss yesterday with the loss of his father, and it was uncertain if he would play today. He decided he would face his old mates and dedicate the game to his late father. In the first quarter, NFC Player of the Week, Wade Wilson, will scramble. Swilling will give chase. Cause the hurry throw to no one. But not Pat Swilling's best day, however. Watch the left side of your screen as Swilling will jump off sides. He would do that 4 times today. More on that later. First quarter, complete offensive utility for both teams. The Lions punter, Jim Arnold, and Saints punter, Tommy Barnhart, seeing the bulk of the action. 6 punts. In fact, the Lions and the Saints combined for 6 punts and only 4 first downs in the first quarter. Barry Sanders, what about him? Well, an up and down day. The upside, he busts loose on this 24-yard jaunt. The downside, on 3rd down, Sanders, he gets stuffed. Up, Barry taking the handoff, and this is vintage Barry making the Saints miss tackles. Jim Morris said Sanders would even make Superman miss tackles. This is a 21-yard pickup, TJ.
Yeah, and the thing that makes the Saints defense so great, even against Barry Sanders, which they had much success over the last few years, is the pursuit defense. And you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Saints getting around the football right there.
He had his best day against the Saints, 76 yards, though, on 16 carries. Under 5 to go in the half, 3-0 Lions. Wade Wilson finds a veteran, Hobie Brenner. Haven't seen that in 3 years. His first touchdown in 3 years. Saints lead 7-3 at the half. Swilling is with the Lions now, but the Saints still have some great linebackers. Ricky Jackson getting to Rodney Peete for the sack. Wayne Font's wondering, hey, why did we pay all that money for the new offensive line? Can they protect? Well, Ronaldo Turnbull takes over for Swilling, gets to Peete, causing the fumble. Jackson recovers. Mr. Jackson, 6 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 fumble recoveries. Then in the third, Saints threatening, 3rd and 9. The Lions, they think they've held, stopping Torrance Small short on the pass from Wilson, but remember, Pat Swilling being a little bit jumpy. Offsides again. The Saints would get a second chance, and Wilson finds Eric Martin for the 12-yard score, TJ.
Yeah, Eric Martin, a great receiver. Doesn't get the credit he deserves, but here he does what he does best, running across the middle, taking a lick, maintaining control of the football.
And the Saints would then use their fine rookie running back, Derek Brown, to control the ball. Here he goes down the left side for 24 yards, and Brad Musker saying, hey, why'd you guys pick me up? Derek Brown, 25 carries, 121 yards. As for Pat Swilling, only 2 tackles today. Rodney Peete left the game with a strained knee in the 4th. Andre Ware didn't fare much better against the Saints, who had 5 sacks today. The Lions could manage only 165 yards of total offense. The Saints now off to a 3-0 start like they did in 1991 when Pat Swilling went on to be the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year. After the game, Swilling talked about his father.
Well, he's always a strong man, always real strong-minded, never sick, never upset too much about things. It's always done things in the correct manner, which I think had to definitely reflect on my life. And he's taught me how to continue forward no matter what. And I think this is probably one of the biggest adversities I've ever, had to overcome. And through God's, through my father and God's tutorage, I'll be okay.
That man has always carried himself with such class, and today being a perfect example of that. The Saints, 3 games, 3 victories. Today, the offense didn't take up the bulk of the load, and I think Jim Moore kind of likes today's victory the most.
You know, I think so. I mean, obviously, he'll take any victories,
Sure.
Any coach will, Rob. But, I mean, week 1, they beat the Oilers 33-21. They won by 12. Today, they went 14-3 by 11. You figure Singbeam, I think he's a lot more comfortable with these nice 14-3 low-scoring games. Keep your defense rested, keep them on the bench. And he likes what he sees today more than the other 2 weeks, especially with San Francisco coming to town next Sunday. He's comfortable tonight. I guarantee you that. All right, let's get back to 2 teams that were not 2-0. They were 0-2, the Seahawks and the Patriots. One day, the Seattle Seahawks and the Hartford Patriots. Did I say that? I live in Connecticut. Uh-oh, here come the calls. One day, they will be good teams. And when they are good teams, they'll have 2 young men at the helm. Those were the 2 we saw today in Foxborough. Drew Bledsoe, Rick Meyer, picks 1 and 2. First rookie quarterbacks facing off against each other in 20 years. Meyer early, look at him run. No time to wallow in the mire. He runs for 18 yards and a first down at the New England 21, which helped set up his first touchdown pass as a pro to Brian Blades, 4 yards, 7-0, Seattle, scoring at an alarming rate when you consider what they did last year. Drew Bledsoe had trouble early. Remember, Seattle is a good defense. He throws deep, but look at Patrick Hunter come away at the last minute with a fine defensive play. Bledsoe thought he had 6. But at times, the rookies look like, well, rookies. Maurice Hurst looks more like a Seattle receiver to Meyer's throw. And then Eugene Robinson looks more like a New England receiver on Bledsoe's throw. Tommy, how do you defend Cortez Kennedy?
Well, it begins with double teaming him here, and you see Eugene Chung and Mike Arthur with a nice double team, creating a nice seam so that they can, so that the Patriots can pick up another 5 yards. Then you see an instant replay here, the double team again. You're going to always have people coming off blocks trying to help on Cortez Kennedy.
I'm not sure the two are enough. In addition to Cortez being a large presence on the field, what about Chris Warren? Warren, a 12-yard gain today, ran for 174 yards on 36 carries.
Yeah, he did a great job of picking his way through holes and then showing the power right there where he could get the extra 3 or 4 or 5 yards.
Still 7-0 in the third quarter. Meyer poked in the eye by Mike Pitts. Did not finish the game. We assume he's all right for the coming weeks, but he had to go out, and Stan Gelbaugh came in, and smartly he handed the ball off to Chris Warren. 15 yards, a touchdown, and the juggernaut Seahawks are up 17-0. We go to the fourth quarter. Bledsoe led a comeback last week, only to lose in overtime. Here, 18 yards to Ray Crittenden. Brings the ball to the 37. Then, watch this play by tight end Ben Winter-Coates. Look at him at the 10, the 5. Does he get in? The beautiful dive inside the pylon. That's pretty. 25 yards, 17-7. Then, watch Maurice Hurst start in the parking lot, end up with Gelbaugh at bang, and the Patriots recover. But Bledsoe, picked off by Dwayne Harper, and one rally is stymied. And a turnover coming up. Todd Collins, the linebacker, intercepts Gelbaugh's pass. Another shot for the Pats. This sets up Sam Gash's dash of 4 yards. 17-14, zip to Crittenden on 2nd and 12. Beautiful.
Yeah, and look at the tight spiral and the great catch at the end. Every now and then you see the brilliance of Bledsoe.
2nd and 10, 15 seconds left to Marv Cook. Patriots at the Seahawks 40. Scott Sisson in for a 54-yarder to tie. It is doink! It's off the crossbar. So close. One more and it would have been over the crossbar to tie the game. But again, the Patriots game at home come up short by a field goal, and for Seattle, their first win, where they got their first win last year in New England, 17-14. So I think that we should sum up the quarterback. Of course, Meyer didn't finish, but again, we see some signs of why they were picked 1 and 2.
Yeah, they both have the calm and the poise in the pocket. I think we're going to see two great future quarterbacks in this league. As far as my assumption, adding up what they look like today, I think they're virtually equal, but both teams have to have help. Today, Rick Meyer got the help from Chris Warren running the ball.
And he also gets help. Remember, Seattle isn't totally starting from scratch. They got a pretty darn good defense. New England and Bill Parcells, I mean, they're really starting almost everything over. So Seattle at least has some sort of foundation in which Meyer can be more careful. He looked fleet of foot. Good to see them, and we look forward to seeing them over the next 10 years. How do they do after 3 weeks in the NFL? Well, Bledsoe has thrown a lot more passes. Today, Bledsoe again throwing over 40 passes, through 44, through 47 last week. So 3 weeks, he's thrown 123. And as you can see, his completion average is just over 50%. A lot of yards. He's thrown 4 interceptions and 4 touches. Meyer got his first touch today. Those are the numbers after 3 weeks. When we come back, the Giants looking to go 3-0. Can they stifle the Rams? That's a team that's had their numbers in recent years. We'll be back.
Murphy, that package you sent to Denver, it never got there.
Introducing tracking software from Federal Express.
It was picked up at 5:20 last night, and it was delivered at 9:42 a.m. and signed for by Kate Donovan. Shall I call her for you, sir?
Never mind. Now you can track packages right from your computer on your desk.
One of the things that sets Mercury Villager apart from the rest of the minivan crowd is its unique sliding rear seat. For those occasions when you need more room, slide the seat forward. More room? Slide it forward to the middle seat. More room? Remove the middle seat and slide all the way up. And if you still need more room, call Milo. The Mercury Villager. All this and the quality of a Mercury.
Speaking of the left coast, the Los Angeles Rams have for some reason had the New York Giants number. They had beaten the Giants 5 of their last 6 times, and except for last year, and it was Knox against Handley, it was really a case of just some coaches have some others numbered. Bill Parcells so successful against most everybody, except John Robinson. Well, of course, they are both gone. Times have changed in New York for sure. And today was the time that the Giants tried to prove the times had changed. Everybody expecting Dan Reeves to have Phil Simms hand the ball off out of the gate, but no. Simms to Mark Jackson for 12. Simms to Howard Cross for another dozen. And then Simms, look at the protection that he has, to Chris Cab Calloway. Howdy, ho. Good day, Tommy.
Yeah. Now you watch Phil Simms here with the nice feet in the pocket. Gets the ball out to Howard Cross. That's a hard throw to make. And Callaway gets the extra yardage for him.
Well, when we stop singing, we go to Hampton for 7. We go to Hampton for 5. This on the opening drive. And then Hampton from the 1 will plow it in. And the Giants lead it 7-0. And Dan Reeves looking good on the drive, Tom.
Yeah, and then the acquisition of Brad DeLuiso here. Why did Dan Reeves want to get him for kickoff specifically right there? Almost kicks the ball right out of the stadium.
Well, it was off the wall for a double. Giants led 10-0 in the second quarter on the move. Simms to Gerard Bunch for a big game, but John Bunch fumbles. Darrell Henley recovers for the Rams.
Yeah, you watch the right arm of Chris Martin there as he got in and stripped Bunch of the ball.
Rams take advantage. Tony Zendejas from 54 is good. 8 straight field goals by Zendejas of over 50 yards. Giants lead cut to 10-3. Third quarter, Giants try to grind it out. 3rd and 1.5, first down Rodney Hampton. 3rd and 5, Phil Simms to Derek Brown for 5.5 yards. Steve Israel despite the good coverage by him. 3rd and 1, a 2-yard run by Hampton for a first down. The Giants stall. Treadwell kicks the short field goals. Why not try DeLuiso from long distance? Here's why.
Chris, that's the reason Coach Reeves got him only to kick off.
So the drive took 9 minutes, but they get no points. The next series, Jim Everett through the hands of Tim Lester and picked up by Mark Collins. And he just could go all the way. A touchdown. And focus and click. 20-3, the Giants lead. That giant drive, if you will, I know it's technically not a drive, but took 7 seconds for Collins to get in the end zone. Jim Everett trying to work things out. Airs it for Flipper Anderson, and they call him Flipper. He's in the end zone for a touchdown, 20-10.
Yeah, this was a great catch here by Flipper Anderson, and Corey Raymond just couldn't get to him. He's coming up on him, got to touch him a little bit quicker than that before he gets into the end zone.
But the Rams still need a break. And here they get one. Bunch fumbles, and the Rams recover on Bunch's second fumble. LA goes back to the air. Everett looking for Flipper again. But playing center field is Myron Guyton that makes the pick and seals it. Only 135 yards passing for Everett. Hampton carried 41 times for 134 yards. Simms 21 of 27. Giants defense held the Rams to 8 first downs, and the Giants win. They go 3-0. The Giants beat the Rams by the score of 20-10. As we go inside the numbers, what does a 3-0 start for the Giants and others that are 3-0 mean? Well, since '86, 26 of the 30 teams that opened 3-0 have made the playoffs. That's 87%. Since 1990, all 14 teams that started 3-0 have made the playoffs. And oh, by the way, the last 4 Super Bowl champs all began 3-0. Giants feeling pretty good about the way they're standing. Coming up next, another team in the NFC East looking to go 3-0. Eagles and Skins in a mammoth confrontation.
You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire. You'd be so nice. You'd be paradise to come home to.
Introducing Business Saver. Free faxes, movie, fitness center, and free local calls. And most Hiltons proudly offer AT&T long-distance service. Business Saver.
There are some tough birds in our division who love putting the ache to Aikman. And those people in Washington definitely believe in capital punishment. And even when things are going good, I remember there are still giants in New York. Do I think winning another Super Bowl is going to be easy? Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Watch it. Scrambling Pookie Jones leads the Wildcats challenge against Steve Tannehill and the Gamecocks. Live college football Thursday on ESPN.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. In recent years, some of the closest and hardest fought and most memorable regular season games have happened between a couple of teams just a few hours drive apart, the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. Today, despite a brand new starting quarterback for the Skins, it was more of the same. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. Mark Rippon had to enjoy it from the sidelines. He's out 1 to 4 weeks to carry Conklin. Well, first things first, he hits Art Monk early, 151st straight game. That Monk has caught a ball second all time, but Conklin stumbled, fumbled, and then threw a one-hopper to Ricky Sanders. The Eagles lead it 3-0 after one, Tom.
Yeah, you had to know that the Eagles were going to come with pressure here. Byron Evans smacking Conklin as he releases the ball. How do you get past that blitz? With the screen pass here to Ernest Biner. Catches the Eagles too far close to the quarterback. And then a nice pass to the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, to Timmy McGee, Tommy, and some good footwork we're seeing in the end zone. It's 7-3 Skins early second quarter. Next possession, watch the D.
Yeah, great play here. Lamont Hollingquist stripping Heath Bar Sherman. Right there, you see the ball come out. Recovered by the Skins.
Govea is always around the football. Conklin back to pass, finds Ricky Sanders. Again, a good job of play calling, sucking the linebackers in. Pettibone and company taking advantage of the aggressive Eagle linebackers, making him pay for it. It's 14-3 Skins. Next play for the Eagles, Cunningham. To Calvin Williams, zip up the middle, and he's gone. He could go all the way. He does, and it's a 14-10 Skins lead. We're just getting warmed up late in the second. Cunningham looks for another big play. This time he's going to air it out to Victor Bailey. But most of the time on these bomb throws, the speed of Darrell Green paid off. Green had a pair of picks today. Good hustle by the veteran Darrell Green. 14-10, Cotites Eagles trail at the half. Second half, some hitting, I guess so. Second half kickoff, Jeff Sidner is on the return. Watch James Jenkins. Boom! It's a fumble, and the Skins recover at the bottom of the pile. Sidner upset, and he'd be more upset when he sees Conklin capitalize. To Tim McGee. Makes the turn, get out at the 2-yard line. Next play, Brian Mitchell, boom! Byron Evans hits him. Is he in, Tom?
No, right here you can see that as he closes into the end zone, Byron gets him, and the ball's down right there before he turns over the plane of the goal line.
4th and goal. Inches to go. Byron Evans to the Eagles, fired up. The crowd is fired up. Conklin under center. The play fake, beautiful call. Tight end Ron Middleton, touchdown, 21-10 Washington. Great play calling by the Skins. On the ensuing kickoff, Sidner breaks it out. Boom! Pat Gilligan's Eilers hammers him. He's one of those good special team players the Skins have this year. Then Darrell Green smacks Fred Barnett. Late in the third quarter, this play turned it around. Conklin in the flat. Pro Bowl corner Eric Allen picks it off. 29 yards, and now it's a 21-17 game. Skins lead is just 4.
Yeah, and the reason that interception took place right here, you're going to see Clyde Simmons get past Joe Jacoby, and right there, that pressure caused the bad throw.
On the kickoff, you talk about big hits. Look at Sidner. Not only does he fumble, but he dishes it out. Brian Mitchell flipped. Maurice Johnson also on the hit. Pettibone keeps his team sharp late in the third quarter. Conklin, remember, till last week he completed 2 passes in the league. Nice touch to Tim McGee. Sets up a field goal by Chip Lohmiller. Skins by 7, 24-17. Rich Kotite looks for a comeback. Does he have it? The big play guy today was Calvin Williams, although he was nailed by Copeland and Edwards. Then Cunningham to Jeff Sidner for 12 yards. Then Randall on the bootleg. Here he gets outside the corner. Normally Andre Collins can spy on him. He's hurt. He's not there. Randall scrambled for 27 yards. Sets up a key play, Tommy.
Yeah, right here, Herschel Walker makes the nice grab. And then you get the penalty right there out of bounds on Lamont Hollingquist.
And that gives the Eagles the ball to 15. 2 plays later, Cunningham, Williams, end zone. We're tied at 24. The Eagles D says, let's stop the Skins. But on the next play, Reggie Brooks. He's babbling Brooks. The rookie from Notre Dame could go all the way. Eagles trying to stack him up. He went 80 yards instead. And the Skins regain the lead, 31-24. Brooks, 154 yards, only his 3rd game in the NFL. Rip says, yeah, that's where we go. Eagles make a field goal. It's 31-27. Randall back to pass, complete to Calvin Williams. Randall rolls out of the pocket. Look at him cut upfield nicely for 9 yards. Randall ran for 45 to 49 yards today. Almost picked off by Green. So the Eagles get a break with 41 seconds to go. Randall to Barnett. Gets the first down. Good fight. 25 seconds to go. Randall to Williams. What a catch at the 10. It's 20 yards. Richie Pettibone getting nervous. 10 seconds to go. Cunningham looks at the end zone. Incomplete. Then to Calvin Williams in the back of the end zone. 3 times Cunningham to Williams, and the Eagles coat-tight ecstatic. What a day for Williams, who caught 8 for $181. Reggie Brooks and the Skins played a marvelous game. But it was just not to be, as this time Cunningham, who was 5-8 against the Skins in his career going in, brings the Eagles victory with seconds to go. 34-31, Philadelphia wins an emotional game at home. After the game, Randall talked about it.
I knew Darryl was sitting, and he had a safety, so he would sit back a little further like he was in a 3-deep coverage. But then when you throw the ball, he's doing like this, and you throw the ball, he shoots up and tries to pick it off. Well, I saw the safety back there, so I said, okay, let's do everything. And I went over there, and I knew the safety knew Darryl would jump, and the safety would go back. So that's when I said, swung back to the right side with Calvin coming across.
This guy is murder on 2-minute offense because he gives you that threat of running the football, and his receivers are really getting to know him. They have a great body language, and they broke on the ball, and, you know, he's tough.
I just didn't want to put the ball back in his hands at the end of the game, and, you know, unfortunately we did, and what happens can happen.
Well, that's a tough game, but a tough loss for Washington. First of all, Tom, I don't know you agree with me here. A great game plan by Pettibone, a defensive coach who got inside of the top-ranked defense in the NFL, Philadelphia's head, and made some good calls. I mean, if you're going to tell him you get 31 points with Kerry Conklin, he will more than take his chances. His D just couldn't deliver today.
Well, it was a great job by the Washington offensive line, I thought, moving the Eagles off the ball early and often, and that took some of the pressure off Kerry Conklin, made him get comfortable as the game went on. For the Philadelphia Eagles, I think we all knew going into the game it was going to be a matter of how many plays could Randall Cunningham make. He struggled at the beginning of the game, but as the game went on and as the pressure built, he started to make the plays. And I think indicative of that is the last play of the game for him, the touchdown to Calvin Williams. Look at the time, and we'll take a couple of looks at this play. Look at the time that he has to throw. He starts to step up, he pumps 2 or 3 times, and then gets rid of the ball. But also, we'll notice the Washington defense staying in their lanes. That's because during this drive, he had already hurt them via running the ball. So they were already worried about, should we stay in our lane? Should we come off people and try to get to the ball? No.
You know what Philly has, Tommy, is A, some big play players, which you know, even though they lost some guys. And B, I talked to Rich Kotite this week, and he talked about emotion, that in a year of transition, this is a time to show the emotion. They came from behind to win at Green Bay last week. They were down 11 to the Redskins. They win this week. He that keeps emotion keeps on rolling. Tough to stay up for 16 weeks, but the Eagles have done a heck of a job. They've won 11 straight in the vet. Randall Cunningham, the last 2 seasons, he and the Eagles have been fast starters. In September, it's not late September, he doesn't really need to go back to school. 13 touchdown passes and only 4 picks, and oh, by the way, the Eagles are 6-0. When we return, the Oilers and the Chargers, a couple of good teams from a year ago, looking to establish themselves. Who got better footing at the Murph?
After a while, it became a little too much to bear. So I headed to True Value and asked if there was anything I could do. Bob told me there was and gave me some very detailed instructions. I mean, you get used to the roller coaster, but the dripping faucet was really getting on my nerves.
Hey, here's your ding-ding, big fella, huh? Yeah. Here's Daddy's ding-ding.
Once you get a look at those 2 all-beef patties.
No, this is Daddy's. Would you try
that
some
special sauce, lettuce, cheese piled fresh and hot on that sesame seed bun. You've gotta have a Big Mac.
What you want is what you get. at McDonald's today.
I would have almost paid my own way to play baseball if I could have. The hitting was what I always liked, and I had a bat in my hand. I just felt like I was the man in command. I've been a member of the Hall of Fame since 1982. Probably one of the greatest thrills I had in life. I've been a card member since 1988. It works.
American Express is welcomed at the Hall of Fame and at places where you don't have to be a big hitter to get noticed.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I have to see it.
If a movie got great reviews, you'd go see it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely fantastic.
If everyone kept talking about a book, you'd probably read it. And if Automobile Magazine called this Toyota Camry the best car built in America, you'd give it a test drive, right? The 1993 Toyota Camry. Everything you've heard is true.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Last year, it was very simple in the San Francisco